Our third pillar of trauma-wise care is regulation. And when we talk about regulation, we're talking about how our bodies are feeling. Are they upregulated, which means our heart's racing, we're breathing quickly, maybe our pupils are dilated or constricted? Are there things going on that are creating a really quick-paced energy where we see that come out, and oftentimes our fight, flight, or freeze, right? So when our kids get dysregulated and they're upregulated, often we see that in the more aggressive behaviors, the hyperness, excessive energy, a lot of talking, things like that. And that's what we call upregulated. So we want to start looking at behavior as regulation and understand how to calm that regulation. And down regulation would be we're tired, we're lethargic, we don't want to do anything, we're checked out, we're not engaging in activities. So when we think about how our emotions connect to regulation, we might think that fear might come with either up or down regulation. I think in the state where you guys are with the war and with kids and families coming across trying to reach you for safety, that literally everybody is dysregulated in some way, shape, or form. It is our job, as much as we are able, to be the calm presence in that storm. We can't control the environmental things that are going on around us. We can't control how long they've had to wait in line to get to you. But what we can control is how we set up the environment and how we set up our interactions to help calm their stress system, or as we like to say, regulate, help them to regulate. And it's important to know that we will co-regulate with other people if somebody else is calm. So if I am dysregulated, either upregulated or downregulated, I will try to match somebody that brings calm. And so we can help it, influence that simply by being calm. There are good times to be upregulated. So for these people, the adults and everybody trying to get across the borders, we didn't want them underregulated. We wanted them on high alert. We wanted their bodies to be prepared to hurry and go and have everything they need. And they didn't need to be distracted by anything. They needed to be upregulated to get through that. So that's a really good time. Our kids have experienced that too. So if they come in and are just really, really on high alert and really dysregulated with a lot of energy, they've been doing that to survive for the last week. They've been doing that to survive probably even longer than that, depending on the circumstances from which they come. We need to anticipate that they're going to come in dysregulated, and it's our job to bring them calm. If they're upregulated, we can give them some things to do. They can do some breathing exercises. So just inhaling slowly, exhaling slowly. We can make that into the game of like we can have a pretend bowl of soup and breathe in really slowly and breathe out really slowly to cool our soup. They can do wall pushes, so they can literally like push with both hands 10 seconds as hard as they can using their legs against a wall. That'll help release some of that tension and calm their body down. They can sit in a chair and try to pull that chair up off the ground as hard as they can with their big arm muscles. Okay, and that helps to calm and regulate. And they can exercise, they can run around, they can play. Remember, play disarms fear. Play will manage some of that energy if they can just get out and move their bodies. Okay. If they're underregulated, if they're downregulated, they might need just a quiet place to be. Now, we aren't going to send our kids away. We need right now, they are literally refugees coming to us for safety, and we need to remain that safe person. We are, if they have poor behavior, if they are having impulse issues, if they are dysregulated, if they are having a fear response, we want to bring them to us. That is absolutely normal. They should be doing all of those things because they are in a terrifying situation. But if they need a quiet place, we can allow them to have that space. Here's a little blanket on the floor. You can rest here. I'll be right here. I'm not leaving you. But if you just need to rest for a minute, get some rest. If you have the availability of like ear covering at all, anything, even just a hat or something to protect the ears from all the sound coming in, that might be beneficial to them, to just calm all that information that's coming into their brain through noise and light and sensory. And so when we think about regulation, we want to think about what are things we can do to get them to regulation. We want them to be regulated. If they're upregulated, then we need to help them calm. And we do that by managing the energy, by managing that dysregulation, not by saying, go sit down, because a body that's dysregulated up here can't just go sit down, right? That's not going to calm them. So we need to bring their regulation down to middle, or we need to bring the regulation up. Now, keep in mind, there are really great times to be underregulated. When you want them to go to bed, if you're having nap time, sometimes at mealtime, we like them to be a little more calm so that they can eat and have conversation and interact socially around the meal table. So there are appropriate times to be upregulated. There are appropriate times to be downregulated. But if we can work towards that middle regulation, then we're okay. Okay. The other things we can do for regulation is consider areas where they may get dysregulated in the day. So if these kids are hungry, I would have snacks out that they can have, so they don't have to request anything as far as snacks or water. If there aren't enough to provide just an open, bowl of snacks or whatever, then I would at least have it where if they ask for it, we'll give it to them. They need that felt safety, and that's going to regulate their system. Okay. So thinking about what are the ways that we can create a regulated environment where they are not at fear, and then we can continue to meet their needs.